Hey, thanks for taking a few minutes to listen to and look at this video. Just wanted to do a quick setup. I'm going to invite you, please, on Sunday morning, 11/9 this coming Sunday, about 9:43 after the huddle, meet me in the worship center, and we're just going to walk through where our stations are for passing out communion and answer any questions that you have. So we'll just do a quick run through, maybe 5 to 7 minutes. Not super complicated, but with communion, since it's new and since it's a sacrament, we want to do it in a way that honors the Lord and is excellent. Not that it has to be perfect. We just want to do it in a way that's reverent and honoring to the Lord. We want to help people to be able to reflect on their lives and then be able to celebrate what Christ has done to rescue them in their lives. What I've done is I've divided the worship center up into 3 sections, and so we can think about it this way. As you're on the stage looking out into the audience, section A is stage left. Section B would be in the center of the room, and then section C would be stage right. One of the things that's a little interesting is that the B section has 7 rows. So there's going to be one person, in this case it'll be Bev, who is going to serve communion to 4 rows and then be passing the communion plates to 3 rows. So she'll have 4 rows that she's serving and 3 rows that she is helping to serve. And so she's got a little bit of kind of a stagger. It's not a big deal, just want you to be aware of it. The communion is going to happen at the end of the service, and so we'll all be seated. But as you're choosing your seat for Sunday morning, choose a seat that's going to be in the section that you're going to be, or near the section that you're going to be serving communion to. Mike and Bev are also doing prayer response after the service, and so are Jeff and Lisa. So we'll be on the, I'll be seated with Bev in section C, and then Jeff and Lisa, I would prefer that you seat yourselves in section A, and then you can do communion and prayer response when you come up. Mark will finish his sermon. He'll come off the stage and he'll say, now I'm going to explain or describe or give directions for communion. That's our cue. I'll get up and walk to the front. When you see me get up and walk, just join me in front of the stage. We're going to be standing with our backs to the worship team, with our heels against the stage and looking out into the audience. Mark will be giving instructions, and then he will begin to pass out the communion trays to each of us as team members. He'll start with John and Cynthia, so you'll each get a tray and you'll hold in place. Then he'll pass them to Mike and Bev, hold. Melissa and Clay, hold. Jeff and Lisa won't get anything. And then he'll give another prompt, another cue, and then we'll take our places in the worship center so that we can begin passing out the communion elements. These are your positions, and so Cynthia and John, you'll walk ahead of Cynthia up to the top. You'll start in the 3rd row. I'll start in the 3rd row. Melissa, you'll start in the 3rd row. Jeff, you'll start in the 3rd row from the top. Lisa, Clay, Bev, and Cynthia, you'll be in the 1st row, and we'll just start passing. All of the elements will go from the left to the right, and we'll pass that way. And just keep the elements moving through the worship center. You'll see that Bev has 4 rows that she is responsible for. Once all of the elements are passed out to your rows, we're going to hold in place. At the top in the center is Mike. I'm going to be looking out to make sure that everyone has had an opportunity to get their communion elements. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cue the rest of you by walking to the stage, and that will be Mark's cue that he needs to walk to the front to finish the communion service. So then we will return to the front with our trays. So I'm not sure exactly who's going to have what tray, but Mark will then start to collect those trays. He'll start with John and Cynthia. He'll collect those trays, set them down on the table. He'll come to Mike and Bev, collect those trays, set them on the table, Melissa and Clay, and Jeff and Lisa. Whoever's got trays, we'll give them at that time. Mark, communion team, make sure that you grab communion when Mark takes the tray away from you so that you have communion elements. You're not going to be able to serve yourself while you're standing, so this will be your opportunity. Mark, you're going to serve the communion team their communion. Mark will set all the trays back up. He will say some words that will cue us to return to our seats, and then Mark will continue with, on the night that Jesus was betrayed, he took the bread, and after he had blessed it, he's going to walk us through the communion, and then we'll take communion with everyone else. Matt Almond, during this communion rep, will be doing communion service in the production booth. So whoever's sitting up there, there's 23 seats or something. Whoever's sitting up there, Matt, you're going to serve them communion. You'll follow the same cues. When you see us start passing things out, you'll pass out communion to that team. Whether it's 5 people or 23 people, pass out the communion. When you're done, Matt, just return that tray to the kitchen, and I'll collect it there. Again, 9:43 after the huddle, we'll meet in the worship center. I'll show you where you're to be staged and answer your questions. We'll do a quick walkthrough, and then we'll be ready for worship. Thanks so much for agreeing to be a part of communion this first time. It'll go smooth. It'll be great, but better to be prepared and kind of be able to ask questions. Really important. This is a sacrament. So this is something that we do. We don't do it joking. This isn't funny. Even if we make mistakes, it's not funny. This is our chance to be reverent, to give the people at Haven a chance to reflect on the weeks of their lives that have gone by, and then to celebrate what Christ has done for them. So reverent, not super serious. Like we don't have to be, chanting Gregorian chants, but we want to be reverent as we do this. As always, email me, text me, call me, stop by the church. I'd love to walk through any questions that you have. It'll be more clear once we're in the worship center and we can see the X's. I've actually got gaff tape on the floor so we can see where we're supposed to stand. It'll be super simple. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Thanks, guys. Let me know if you have questions.